There was a good aggregate of all the news on trekmovie.com here. I'll pull it up on the screen. There we go. And this came out a few days ago. Trekmovie.com basically got a lot of information from a bunch of different sources where Jonathan Frakes was talking to people and really gave us a ton of interesting things. Sees a Next Generation parallel with Zora. That's interesting because they're looking for their humanity. Then there's the inverse article. I think we have that here, possibly. Gizmodo. I don't know. There's been so many articles.
It's been so chatty this week, starting with the Ready Room last Thursday. And such great interviews.
So a few of the things that were really interesting was number one, that he mentioned Discovery season 5. Last week's episode was Jonathan Frakes' 7th behind the camera for Star Trek Discovery, even though he has been part of other shows, blah, 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 blah. Oh, that's the IO9 thing that we clicked on here.
And I believe that was like the big Discovery kind of like point in this article was that during the Ready Room with Will Wheaton, he alluded to directing more in season 5 of Discovery, but season 5 hasn't been announced yet. So people are surmising that's a pretty good indication there will be one.
Right. I also want to point out here that he says, I always look forward to coming on Discovery because Sonequa is number one. He doesn't mean number one, because that's him.
Number one on the call sheet.
Yeah.
Takes one to know one.
He says you couldn't ask for a better number one on a call sheet. I think this is the right time for us to give a little love to Sonequa, because I personally have never met her or probably even come close to meeting her. But every single thing I've ever heard from every person that does know her has been scintillating. People say such great things about her. They're always talking about how wonderful she is. And it's not like, oh, yeah, she's cool. It's like they all just want to vomit compliments about how wonderful she is as a person. So I just think it's important to acknowledge that and just say, look, clearly, Mohammed, you may have met her. I don't know, but
briefly. But yeah, she was lovely.
Those of us who have never met her have to just accept the fact that she's a wonderful human being at this point. At this point, there's no debate. Everybody agrees. It's all very clear. But you did meet her, huh?
I did, briefly at Dragon Con this past September. Yeah, she was lovely. I went up to her and had a quick chat there. I think I did buy like a quick selfie with her too, but we talked just a little bit about things she'd been doing on the show, and she was lovely. And everything I've heard, talking. So I talk with Jane Brooke, as you know, all the time. Jane's very, very positive about Sonequa all the time. Not just her kindness, but also her talent as an actress and stuff too. She's very, very positive about her all the time.
Sweet, that's cute. Does she say anything in particular about her sense of humor or her kindness, or what is it that?
I just remember the word kindness coming up a lot, that she you couldn't find a nicer person. Actually, I do remember one story that I don't think this was from Jane. I think this was from somebody else, about somebody who had to, maybe this came up in a panel at one point in time, where somebody had to work really late in filming. And often if you're filming really late, the people who aren't part of a particular part will just go ahead and head home, because, it's like 1, 2 in the morning or something like that. But somebody, I can't remember who it was who said this, said that Sonequa stayed there just to, provide support for this person going until like 2, 3 in the morning, just to be there for her, which, that was very sweet.
Amazing.
Yeah. And it's not like she doesn't have a lot to do. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I remember hearing that story too. And I don't know who it was that said that.
I don't remember now. Yeah.
Maybe it was one of the Klingons.
Maybe. Or it could have been like Mary Wiseman on a panel or somebody too. I'm not sure.
So I just want to make sure that we all give her the acknowledgement that she clearly deserves.
Yeah, this season, you really see her talent coming out there, where she's playing all sorts of different, emotions and roles and things like that, and having a hefty spotlight on herself as captain. And I feel like she's doing really, really well with it. I mean, it's very, very compelling all the time. I've been very impressed. So.
Well, Anne-Marie, it seems like you've done more homework than I have on this Jonathan Frakes Speaks stuff. So the 5th season of Discovery that is yet to be announced. But yeah, you're right. It was
like a soft allusion.
On
but usually, like, if anybody knows stuff about Jonathan Frakes, about what's going on in Star Trek, it's Jonathan Frakes. So, an interesting clue.
Strange New Worlds season 2. He also mentions
was like confirmed basically because he actually said he's on the docket for actual Strange New Worlds season 2 episodes starting. I think he said February 22 or spring 22. So that means season 1 isn't even aired yet. So that's an amazing.
Right.
Like,
so
that's an amazing faith in the show.
Right. So Jonathan Frakes, again, is who we're talking about. The article here is, is Trek movie. He says, I did a number of them, Picard season 2, and I'm just finishing editing a couple of episodes he directed in season 3. I love being on that show as well, and I'm booked to direct Strange New Worlds season 2, which I missed out on season 1 because of the pandemic. So he does let us know that he didn't direct any episodes in Strange New Worlds season 1, but that he will direct in season 2, which also means there will be a season 2 of Strange New Worlds, which I'm sure we kind of expected, but it's still nice to know that it's greenlit, period.
Yeah, and that the production starts February 2022, right? On the screen there.
Yeah.
Barely over a month from now. Scary.
Yeah, I also follow this really good Twitter account called about Toronto filming or filming in Toronto. And sometimes I get really fun spoilers about what's going on in Star Trek world by non-Trekkies who just report everything that goes on in Toronto. So that's a really fun life hack. And sometimes they show really cool behind the scenes, especially Strange New Worlds, because they have some really cool outdoor sets that you don't see really reported anywhere else. So fun Twitter account. But the other thing in that article, we hadn't had it confirmed, I don't think, that he was doing both seasons of Picard, at least for directing. So another fun tidbit, because I think of all the things he directs, it's most special when he directs Picard, at least for me.
Yeah, there's also a lot of
a shout out to the showrunner of Picard.
Terry Matalas,
saying that he's as big of a TNG fan as Mike McMahon, which bodes well in my book. So it also makes me look forward to seeing Picard second season a lot.
Terry Matalas is just also so amazing on Twitter, constantly interacting with fans 24/7. I think he might be an android. Anytime because I set all my notifications because his tweets are so great, and my phone is just 24/7 notifications that he's tweeting and responding to fans. He's so interactive and cool.
Man is pretty good in that regard too.
Yeah,
he's very responsive as well.
Especially he didn't get to go anywhere this winter or for the holidays. He's been just trying to quarantine, and he got a whiskey delivery. So he's been very energetic on Twitter, interacting with fans and drinking whiskey. It's really cute.
Chuck A reminds us that he's called 2 Takes Frakes as a director, which is great. Also, another thing that Mr. Frakes mentions is that he will be back, theoretically, if this article is correct. I believe it's Screen Rant. He will be back playing Captain Riker in Lower Decks season 3. So that is exciting. I don't know how they'll bring him. What was the Vulcan's name? Turin?
Yes.
Tulin?
I don't remember.
Tulin or Turin?
Maybe Daria Tulin. Tulin.
Yeah, maybe she'll be on the Titan, but I don't think so. I think she'll be on the Cerritos.
We'll go back to Alt Boimler.
Oh, right. Maybe that's.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's why there's Alt Boimler. Because I was like, how does Boimler get back on? Duh, William T. Riker.
Right. No, you're right. I was confused there because he mentioned something about being back with Boimler, and I was like, but Boimler's not on that ship anymore. But there's the other one. Is it called Alt Boimler? You can't call him Mirror Universe. Okay,
what's Boimler's middle name?
It's Doppelganger, Doppelboimler. Yeah. Anyway, lots of stuff. I'm sure I'm forgetting stuff.
Totally agree with Melissa though. Like having a showrunner who's like a major TNG fan for Picard is so fun. I can't even wait.
They should be a huge fan of Picard. TNG, if they're doing Picard,
Totally. I think they already made that like mistake when they did, was it Nemesis? Where they hired like a director who didn't really watch Star Trek. One of the TNG movies. We don't want that to happen again. Although I love all the TNG movies, it's just sad that you don't get like the backstage, like really fun stories and energy of like other fans.
Chuck A calls him Clone Boimler.
So I wonder if Alt Boimler will hang out with Tom Riker. That'd be interesting.
That's what I want to know. Is Tom Riker out of jail? Is the other question.
That's what I was going to say. Is he still in prison?
That's like the worst loose end in all of Star Trek.
In prison at that. So my guess is he probably is.
All right, everybody in the chat. Is that the worst loose end left open in Star Trek ever? Or can you think of other bad ones? Worse ones?
Although you could argue that he did get out when Cardassia fell during the Dominion Wars. You don't know what could have happened to the prisoners of Cardassia after, they were left in shambles.
Some Vorta, as their last act, let him go just to raise havoc.
Yeah, I just want to know that he's not dead.
This Screen Rant article hypothesizes very quickly, or is that hypothesis or conjecture? I don't know.
You were right.
Once we get past one or two syllables, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about in words. He says right here, you could have 2 Rikers and 2 Boimlers in an away mission, which could be fun.
That's funny.
What a team, Riker says. Anyway, okay, so any final thoughts on what we've learned here today?
All of it sounds great. I mean, it seems really exciting what they're doing with all these series right now. I'm very excited for every single one of them.
I know, especially with how great Lower Deck season 3 was. Oh,
season 2?
Season 2. Yeah. Oh my God, there's so many seasons to keep track of now. I love it. Right? What a great problem.
So people are agreeing with you, Anne-Marie. Thomas Riker for sure says Chuck A. Medallion says Tom Riker has been dead in a Cardassian prison for decades. Medallion also says, I was honestly hoping for a Tom Riker mention during the Deep Space Nine documentary as a gag. That would be funny. Lots of good stuff there.